Alright, now this is the solution to the classwork that I gave to you guys. If you look at it, the ball is bouncing back the moment it touches the paddle, and it's also making a sound. So when I gave you the assignment or the classwork on Saturday, I expect you to try every means available to be able to solve it by yourself, given the explanation that I gave you in class. So now, let me start from the beginning. This is the code for the ball, while this is the code for the paddle. So let me delete everything. Let me click on delete. Let me click on delete like that. So let me click on file and start a new project. So a new assignment on the ball and the paddle. So this is the Scratch interface like I've explained to you on Saturday. So let me start by deleting the sprite here. So I'll go to choose a sprite here. Let me click it open. To open, let me select the ball. Ball and what do we need? We need the ball and the paddle. So I'll go back again to the sprite. Instead of me scrolling down to look for the paddle, scrolling down, then looking for the paddle, the fastest way of getting any sprite or any character of your choice is you make use of this search box here. You click on it, then you type the name of the name of the sprite you are looking for. So if I click here and I type paddle, definitely, my system is hanging. Sorry about that. Let me scroll down. If you click here, actually it will work, but let me scroll down. My system is a little bit hanging. Sorry about that. So this is the paddle. I'll show you that later. So just move it down here. So what's the next thing? The next thing I want you to understand is this. The ball is is almost half of the size of the paddle. So let's reduce the size of the ball. You click on the ball, then reduce the size here from 100 to 70 or to 60. Anyone that actually suits your liking. What's wrong with my system? It's hanging. Oh my god. So my system is hanging like that. So don't worry. I've reduced the size from 100 to 70. So let me go to choose a backdrop. I don't want this backdrop, this white backdrop. Let me give it something that is good. So I'll go with the blue sky. You can go with anyone that you want, but basically let me go with the blue sky. That's what I've used. And also you can change the color of your ball or the color of your paddle as it so fits. How will you change the color of the paddle? Click on the ball or click on the paddle. Anyone, just click on the ball. I want to change the color of the ball. Go to costumes. When you get to costumes, these are the different types of colors that we have, and you can also add any color to it by clicking on this. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Let me change it to blue. Is blue okay? I think I can go with blue. Okay, so let's work with blue. Then you click on what? On the code here. By the time you click on code, it means you can now start your coding for the ball. But before I start that, let me start with the paddle. So because the code for the paddle is quite simpler than that of the ball, so what do we need? We want to move the paddle to the right and then to the left by the time we click on the go flag here. So what do we need? We need the direction, right? So before we choose the direction, let me go to the event section. Let me bring when flag is clicked. I need 2. I don't need the when the flag is clicked actually. What I need is when the space key is pressed. So which of the key that we need? When you climb, by the time you click here, see the kind of letters and the keys that we have here. So I'll choose the right arrow. Rather than going back and picking the second one this way, I won't do that. Let me show you another method. Just click on this, right click with your mouse, click on duplicate and drop it here. That means you already duplicate this code into 2. So change the right arrow to left arrow like that. By the time you do that, nothing will happen. Only the flag will be showing. Either you are clicking on the right arrow or the left arrow. So what do you need next? You need to go back to your motion that will control the movement of your paddle. Then you bring change X by 10. So by the time you bring change X by 10, change X by 10 only works for the right arrow. When you press the right arrow, let me show you. You put it here and you try to drag it. By the time you are clicking on the left arrow, nothing will happen. You only see me the flag click. So you have to duplicate this also. That is, you make it into 2. Then put this here. Then now change the value of 10 to minus 10. Don't just add 10, change this to minus 10. So that Plus 10 will be to forward direction, that is to the right. The minus 10 will be to the left. So by the time you click on your left arrow key, can you see it moving towards the left? By the time you click on your right arrow with your keyboard, can you see it moving towards the right? So which means the code for the ball is complete. For the paddle is complete rather. So if you go to the ball now, I brought out some code for you the other day on Saturday during the training that you can try with that. But nevertheless, I expect you to explore all the codes that we have here to make your program working correctly. So what do I need first? Firstly, let me go to the events code. Let me bring when flag is click script. Let me duplicate it. The way I've duplicated the when right arrow key is pressed. So let me go back to ball again. I duplicated it into 2 because I need 2. What's next? Let me go to control. I need forever code 2, forever function. Let me duplicate it into 2 because I need it in 2 places. What else do I need here? I need the if. Let me just put if here. I'll arrange it, you will see. Okay. Let me go to the motion. What else do I need? I need point in direction. Point in direction simply means it's indicating the direction of the ball. If this 90 indicates the forward direction, if you look at the arrow is pointing towards this side. If you try to drag it down, it's pointing down. Drag it left side, it's pointing towards the left side. Drag it up, it means the ball is pointing up. But let's leave it at 90 like that. But we are not leaving it at 90. Sorry. The reason being that we don't want just the ball to be going towards the left hand side. That means I'm trying to explain another function to you under motion. So what do we need? Now pay attention. We are going towards the operators. What does operators simply mean? Operators means those functions that will help you to add some changes to your program. If you look at it, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we have pick, random, demand, greater than, less than, and equals to. So what do I need to add to this point in direction? I need this pick random. What does pick random mean? Pick random simply means picking something at random. Let's say you have a crate of minerals down. In a crate of minerals you have 24 inside. So if I say pick a minerals at random from the crate that you have. So if you pick any number, that is the picking at random. So you pick any number without actually specifying which number you want to pick. So this is it. So we are going to set it to 0 to 360. 360 means in a circular form. Like that. So you change your value to 0 to 360. That is, pick any number from 0 to 360 for the movement of the ball. 0 is at the center here. If you put it very well, 0 is at the center. So let me add it to this. So you add it to your point in direction. Then you add it to what? The first, when flag is clicked this way. What's the next thing? You go to motion. You bring out the move code. You duplicate it into 2. One for this side, one for this side. Then you change this number. Let me change it to 6. Change this one to also what? To 6, like that. Then put it inside the forever loop or forever function. Then go to the is it control? Yeah. No, not control, motion again. You bring if on edge bounce. You already know how if on edge bounce, that is when it touches the edge, it will bounce. It will not just go up and stay there. So you add it to this and you downwards add it together. So by the time you try this by clicking on this place, look at what is happening. Your ball is moving. If you try to move this thing, the ball is touching down, but it's not touching the paddle. It's just passing through the paddle and going up back. So let me stop it. That is the essence of this second function, to control what happens when the ball touches the paddle. So how are we going to arrange it? So let me start by arranging. When flag is clicked, you add the forever function to it. You add the if function, you put it inside the forever function. That is, you put it this way inside. By the time you put it inside, then it fits directly. So what happens when flag is clicked? Forever, if this is a space here, then if is a conditional statement. That is, if the ball touches the paddle, what should happen to the ball? What should happen to the paddle? You are trying to set a condition for the two of them. What is going to happen? That is, let's take for instance, if you score 50% in your examination, what will happen to you? If you score 70, what will happen? If you score 20, what will happen? So what happens in real life is what happens also in programming too. So what do we need? Like I told you, I explained the operators to you the other time by picking a particular code there that is pick random. Now we're also going to sensing too. You want to choose from a particular code from what we have here. So let me pick touching. So touching is what we actually need. By the time you see touching, that is if had it here. When flag is clicked, forever, if touching mouse pointer, you don't need the mouse pointer. So you see this small arrow, just like where we have it, here the other time. Go to random position. So you can basically change the mouse pointer to the paddle. That is, when the flag is clicked in a forever loop, if the ball, if and touching, what is that touching? The ball. If the ball is touching the paddle, then what should happen? So what do we want it to happen? First, we want it to what? To turn. Turn in what degrees? We are going to change this 15 degrees to 180 degrees. 180 degree means turn to 180 degrees, touch it, and then go back up. That's the meaning of 180 degree. We want it to turn back. It's coming from down. The ball is coming down this way. So what happens if it touches the paddle? If you touch the paddle, then turn back up again. Then you had a move to hit. Move 6 steps again. You can increase the steps depending on how fast you want it. If you want it to be slower than 6, you can change it to 5, anything below 6. But if you want the ball to be faster, you can increase the number. So you want it to touch. So let's try it again. Let me click on the two together. Now watch what happened. Let me be directing this thing. Look at what will happen. It touches the paddle, then go back. I didn't allow it to touch down. So let me stop it. Let me stop there for a moment. Let me put everything in the normal position. So if it touches the paddle, what else do you want? You can now add your score. If you want to add the score, you can now add the score. If you want to add the sound, you can add the sound. Then how will you add all those things to it? If you go to variables, that takes us to variables. We are not yet talking about sensing operators and variables, but I'm only trying to explain it to you because of the game at hand, to add more spices to it. Do you understand? So you right click on my variable, rename it to my score. My score. Now you drag set my score to 0. Put it here at the second code. That is, your score will be 0. If you want your score to show, that is, show variable my score, bring it here. Then it will show by the time you click the flag. But if we don't actually need it this way. Just click on this box, then it will show. You select it, it will appear like that. So add it back. Then what do we need? You want to change your score. So by the time the ball touches the paddle, you want the score to change from 0 to 1 to continue like that. So you can add it here. If you want to add sounds too, go to sound, then select start sound, put it here also. So now watch what happened. Can you see? Our game is complete. Once the ball goes up and touches the paddle, it goes back up again. The score increases into 2, then make a sound. So this is the complete code for a ping pong game. So you can direct it. You can even predict the direction of your ball like that. So that's that about that. Let me stop here for a moment. So if you want to see basically what's happening here, you can click on this full screen control. Then you have the full screen by yourself like that. Then click on play. So you can basically control your ball like that. I think that is clear to you now. So that's that about that. So let me stop here. Then I'll see you on Saturday, and also I'm going to give you an exercise for you to complete for me before Saturday. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.